Well, hello there, podcast family. It's me, Lee, your cruise director, back with another episode of...
It's time for tea. It's time for tea with Lee. It's time for tea. Time for tea with Lee.
Yes, indeed. Back with another episode of the podcast. This one, I've been sitting on for a little while. I'm so sorry I've been holding out on you. I recorded this a few weeks ago, and I was so excited to get the opportunity to speak to our special guest today. She is definitely a part of, as I described it in the episode, Carnival royalty. Oh, I'm speaking to the incomparable Jaime Dee. But before we dive in, all views and opinions expressed in this show are mine alone, or Jamie's, I guess, and do not necessarily reflect those of my employer. As I said, this episode was recorded a little while ago now, and I do apologize for holding out on you, but it is here. I'm going to just play it to you in its entirety, unedited, and as you'll see a little later in the episode, I do get a little surprise, one of the joys of operating from home, I guess, but I'll leave that with you. Here it is, my catch-up with wonderful Jaime Dee.
Hello there. Hi.
Hello, Jaime. How on earth are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, I know you didn't get to hear my introduction that I just gave you, but I just referred to you as Carnival royalty.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's quite an honor. Thank you, Lee.
I think it's a very accurate description, if I'm honest with you. You are like... I was going to say famous, infamous. I'm not sure what the term is, but you are like integrated. You're a part of the fabric of everything that we do at Carnival right now.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. And that's so nice to be thought of that way. I definitely don't feel like I'm Carnival royalty, but I'm so grateful to have been a part of that family for so long and still involved on so many levels.
Yeah. I think you'd struggle to escape, if I'm honest.
I'm still trying to get back involved these days, waiting for the cruises to come back so I can bring my baby on board more often.
Oh, right. How incredible is that gonna be, sharing cruising with your beautiful little one?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. We got to go on one cruise this past January before the pause in operation. So we're just counting down the days so we can sail again and she can go to Camp Ocean and experience all the fun Dr. Seuss programming and much more.
I'm excited for you. I'm in this weird limbo in my life right now because I appreciate the joy of children. Like, I look at people with kids and I'm like, that is just amazing.
Aww.
But I'm at that teetering point where I'm like, do I want my own? I mean, it would be awesome to make a small human.
Well, the experience is awesome. You just have to decide, are you ready to never sleep past 6 a.m. for the next several years of your life?
That's where we start to hit stumbling blocks, Jaime. That is exactly my struggle right there.
Yeah, right now it's 2:00 in America. I've already been up for 10 hours today.
Oh, gosh, but that's no different to, I suppose, life on board anyway, so you're fine.
That's true. That's true. Being a cruise director, I thought was the highest energy job I would ever have, but I stand corrected. Being a mother requires more energy than cruise director, hands down.
Well, I have always had the utmost respect for mums. Like, my mum is incredible, and I always say I give mums their full credit, so I take my hat off to you. Now,
Oh, thank you. Yes, you said your mom's going to be the only one listening to our recording here, so I'm excited. Hi, Mom. Thanks for listening.
yeah, there we go. Now, Jamie, just in case there is anybody listening to this podcast that doesn't know who you are and why I gave you such a prestigious introduction, can we take you back in time and find out, like, who is Jaime Dee?
Just a girl. Well, as far as my carnival career, it started in 2007 when you were probably about 12 years old or so. And I started as one of the social hosts, which is now Fun Squad. I absolutely loved it. I wanted to travel. I wanted to meet people. And right out of college, that was the perfect opportunity to go do a little exploring. I told my mom I'll be gone for 6 months, and it ended up being 11 years. So
Wow.
within that 11 years, I had the opportunity to be on the inaugural team of several ships. I was on the startup team for the Splendor, my second contract. I got to do Breeze, Sunshine, and Vista. I became a cruise director in 2012, and I just loved every moment of it. I loved the opportunity to positively impact our guests. I loved the opportunity to mentor a lot of team members and help them achieve their goals, and also just to be a positive influence to everyone on board and, give people a vacation, something to really look forward to.
Yeah, you achieved so much in your time with Carnival, and you have genuinely left such an incredible legacy. You were a role model, not just nurturing and mentoring team members directly, but as a female cruise director. That's a big deal, everything that you did with your time. You get that, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I guess while I was with Carnival, the brand of the role changed quite a bit. When I first started, most of the cruise directors were English. Mm-hmm. Most of the cruise directors were men. Most of the cruise directors weren't in their 20s, and most of them weren't even in their 30s. They were, a little bit of an older generation, and they worked so hard. But then between myself and a couple of the other quote unquote young kids, we just really got out there a bit more. We were dancing on bars, doing atrium parties, at every deck party, shaking our booty. And then it sort of rewrote the brand for what a cruise director really was. And then on top of that, I was a girl, which, I never let that slow me down, but I could run pretty fast in heels back in the day.
I mean, because when I was about to join Carnival, I did all of my research looking into who was there, who was doing the job, what the job was. And I was kind of peering in through the window. And there were really two prolific cruise directors. I mean, the company's got a handful, an incredible stock of cruise directors. But at the time when I was looking into the company, it was you and Matt Mitchum, who has, shaped what the position is. You say Matt Mitchum to a Carnival cruiser and they know exactly who he is and what's going on. And I put you on that same platform because you and him really changed what the job is, right?
Thank you. Matt and I really grew up together, and we're great friends, and we always had a friendly rivalry between one another who could get better ratings on our respective ships. Matt was actually one of my Fun Squad when I was assistant cruise director, a job that no longer exists, back in, I want to say 2009 on the Carnival Pride. So we became friends there. We used to host a game called Game Show Mania together all the time. We did Gender Showdown together all the time. I actually got promoted before Matt did because he was out getting into trouble. People weren't sure if he could follow the rules. And then he got promoted shortly after, and we were always on the newest, biggest, best ships together. But, we're still friends. We still talk every week, and he's a great guy. And we never really came up with like a strategy of how to change the world. We just were young and energetic and wanted to show what we got. And I guess we got the opportunity to do that, which was awesome.
I'm so glad that you touched on that because it was a question that I low-key had burning in the back of my mind to explain. During this whole lockdown time, I've had nothing but an opportunity to think and consider things, right? And one of the big sort of revelations that I had was this kind of forced rivalry. Sometimes our guests put cruise directors up against each other, even if there wasn't a rivalry there in the first place. All of a sudden, you don't even get invited. You're just told you're in the fight.
That's true. That's so funny you say that. I can think of a couple situations where that happened between Matt and I. One of them was when the Carnival Vista was coming out. Guests made these Facebook pages. One was like Matt for Vista Cruise Director, Jamie for Vista Cruise Director. And I was like, oh my God, there's 28 other cruise directors. Why is this us? But he won that one. But it turned out to be for the best. Everything happens for a reason. Another time, our ships, I was on Sunshine, he was on Breeze. We were in the same port every day together for that particular voyage.
Oh, wow.
And as we were sailing away from Grand Turk, I told all my guests to come up to the Lido deck and start screaming about how much better the Sunshine was. But Matt didn't know that there was a competition, so nothing was going on the Breeze. And we had this big party. And then, I don't know, there's just a few of those situations. But we remain friends throughout, and we still chat quite often to this day. So one of the best friends I've ever had in Carnival history.
Oh, I love that.
Crazy.
I love that.
Yeah.
In fact, you just took me back, because what you said that you did on the Sunshine to Matt, on exactly the same ship when I was cruise director on the Sunshine, I did the same thing to Mark Yu when Mark Yu was on the Splendor. And we had this huge impromptu sail away party up on our Lido deck, and we were chanting over to the Splendor, "Where's your cruise director?" to try and get him up onto the Lido. And the pro DJ over on their ship was calling him. And I'll never forget getting a message from Mark Yu on my Facebook that was like, "Bro, if you're going to challenge me, make sure I'm home."
Oh no.
He was ashore. He was like, my guests were all like, "Where were you? You let us down. We were trying our hardest." I was like,
gosh.
What was supposed to be a bit of fun, now I really feel like the bad guy. I was like, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll check next time.
No. See, we were sailing at the same time, so I knew that he was on board, but I don't think he ever showed up to the party, so I felt good about that. I was like, sorry, Matt, you missed the show.
Oh.
It was so much fun, though.
Well, you, the sort of the legend that is Jaime Dee, you were famous for kicking yourself in the head and dropping into the splits and being like a ultimate cheerleader of fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was my party trick, I guess, that I could go onto the splits. And I remember seeing the Sunshine atrium, which you're familiar with, you're on that ship. And we were so used to having a little stage in the lobby until Sunshine, where there was no spot where, you could be like the center of focus. But then there was that bar. And the bar on the Sunshine is way wider than the bars on other classes of ship. So it was kind of easy to dance on, great for a Mardi Gras party. And then, I just stretched a little bit, hanging out with all these playlist performers and dancers. And we got that splits down back from my 10-year-old gymnastics classes.
Well, brilliant. But incredibly frustrating for people that had to come after you, because there's a few, and I'll be honest with you, it's the male cruisers that tend to mention you more to me than the female cruisers, but they're just like, oh, you try really hardly, but you don't really measure up to Jaime Dee.
Oh, no, that's not the case. I think I left a few pairs of shoes in the Sunshine closet, Lee. So maybe next time you're on board, you can start practicing walking in the heels.
Maybe I'll have to give it a go. But Jaime, after 11 years of being with Carnival and achieving everything that you did along the way, all of a sudden you kind of took your life in a new direction. And I get everything runs its course and everything has its time. But was that an easy decision to make?
No, it really wasn't. I retired in 2018 and it was just time. I went out for what I thought was going to be 6 months. It turned out to be much longer, which I'm so grateful for. I met so many amazing people and saw so many beautiful places. And I was, nervous to be on stage and then felt so confident on stage. But my 3 big goals in life were to have a job I was proud of, to be a great wife, and to be a great mom. And, in a woman's life, there's an age that, you can't be a great mom for too much longer after that. So now I'm 35. I was 33 when I left. and I wanted to be able to keep up with my kids. And I had achieved so much with Carnival. I had taken out new ships. I had done every itinerary they offer. I just felt like the time was right. I got a job offer on land, and it was close to where my family lives. And, we've missed out on a lot of family occasions being away. My dad was not in great health. I had a little baby nephew that I wanted to see grow up. And I guess it was just time for those other goals. But I still miss Carnival every day. I still want to be a part of the family. But I could not be happier with being a mom. I just love Olivia so much. And she took all of my energy. And now she's got everything. And I'm hungry and I want to sleep all the time, and she never eats and she has energy all the time. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, it's incredible. And I think the rewards for making that decision and taking that leap have been quite obviously bountiful, because you've got a beautiful family on the go there.
Thank you. And I've gotten the opportunity to work with a few cruise directors this summer during the pause in operations. And, it's just nice to have some place to lay your head and unpack all those pairs of shoes.
Right? Now,
yeah.
Looking back upon reflection at your career, what are some of the fondest memories that you have? It doesn't have to be like a highlight or this is the pinnacle of my career, but what are some of like your fondest memories from your time on board?
A couple of things stand out, like cool experiences. I always mention Catherine and Andrew Letterman's wedding, which was kind of a viral video on John Heald's Facebook. It was a guest that we missed the port of Half Moon Key because of high winds. And I wanted to make it special for them, regardless of them missing their ceremony. So it ended up being a beautiful sunny day. We invited all the guests up to Lido, and I had a captain at the time that was pretty shy. Captains were usually the ones responsible for doing renewal of vows, but this guy did not want to stray from the script. But they did empower me to officiate a wedding, a mock wedding. It wasn't legal, of course. It was like in international waters, so they still had to go sign the paperwork when they got home. But we had hundreds of guests up on the Lido deck to watch their fake wedding, and they rolled out the red carpet. They had the roses, and everybody was crying and throwing rice. It was awesome. So that was a pretty cool experience.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And then I've met some people that I'll never forget. From a guest perspective, Jim Roberts, his wife, passed away tragically from cancer during the course of a European voyage, and we became the best of friends. I got to meet his new wife years later. He got to meet my Carnival family, and he's kept in touch with several of them. From the crew perspective, I love and mentor so many team members that I worked with over the years. I won't start to name names because I'm definitely going to forget someone and they'll never let me live it down. And then just traveling. Like, I feel like the world is so small. You called me. You're in England right now. I've got friends in Australia, in Indonesia, in South Africa. I was talking to my friend Sue yesterday. So it just makes the world seem like such a smaller place when you have worked on a cruise ship.
I agree. And I'm glad that you realize like how many lives that you have touched. And in such a positive light, even from hosts right through to people who are currently cruise directors and, you know, living that dream and having those experiences that you remember so fondly. You shaped their lives and helped them get where they are. And in fact, you were one of the very first people that I ever met at Carnival.
I remember that too, Lee. I was one of my proudest days as well. I was hoping you'd ask about that.
Yeah, I mean, you've taught a lot of people a lot of valuable things, but I think one of the most notable is teaching me the Welcome Aboard show, Uptown Funk Dance.
Oh, yes. I remember we watched the video in someone's office over in Miami, up on the entertainment floor. And then you were really nervous about doing the line dances because that's not a thing in the UK.
That was it.
And then Uptown Funk, of course, which is in the Welcome Aboard show, you were ready to run out into that atrium and start honking your horn and doing your
That's
snaps.
It. And
thank you.
In meeting you there, I got such a brilliant like snapshot and almost just like a teaser of everything that you were, your essence. So in meeting so many people that were fond of you, guests and crew, I could 110% relate with the stories that they were telling me and the reason behind their fondness for you. You're a really special person.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same way about you, Lee. And I'm really glad I got to meet you when I did because, you know, now you are this big superstar in Carnival. And I can at least say that we're friends. And I got to meet him at the beginning of his career. And, you know, you were so excited and cheerful and happy to be a part of the family. And I don't think that's changed a bit.
No.
You know, from the team members, from the team members I've spoke to that work with you, like that's Lee, 100%. He's just like, happy to be alive, happy to be on stage, happy to be that guy that the guests really look up to. So, yay.
Well, yeah, I think.
And then
go on.
Go ahead. Hang out in Texas too. You were joining the ship in Galveston and we got to go have a bite to eat. That was awesome.
I mean, you say we got to hang out. You came to pick me up. You really, that was a lot on you right there.
We'll do it again whenever you sign on a Galveston ship. You can stay at my house this time. You don't have to stay at the Sheraton.
Oh, incredible. And you introduced me to barbecue, like what real barbecue is.
Well, when you're in Texas, you have to eat barbecue. And the lady comes around with those breadsticks. You can't say no.
Yes, indeed. Now, Jaime, before I take up too much of your time, because I know you're a busy lady, can you let everybody know, like, what you're doing now post-Carnival? What do you do? What's your job?
Oh, well, I'm still keeping up with cruises. I do a lot of stuff because, you know, after being a cruise director, you can't sit still very long. My full-time job, I'm the director of recreation at a Margaritaville resort here in Texas. I do all the entertainment programming. I do the activity guides. I oversee the pool area. So not much has changed. I'm actually working with some of my Carnival comedian friends, and we have a comedy club over at Margaritaville as well. So that family never goes away, which is a good thing. My part-time job, I'm a travel agent. Maybe one day that'll be my full-time job when we can bring the cruises back in full force.
Mm-hmm.
I learned so much about the different ships and itineraries. I didn't want to let all that knowledge go to waste. So I can book cruises now. My email is teamjamietravel@gmail.com. Jamie spelled Jaime. I wish we could have a lower third on a podcast, but it doesn't work that way.
So one more time. What is it? Team Jaime?
Yeah, Team Jamie, Jaime, travel@gmail.com. I would love to help you book your next cruise. I'm a mom. I have a husband, so that's practically a second child. I'm taking care of my cruise director friends that are currently unemployed. You know, I stay busy.
And did you recently run away with a circus as well?
That's the next move. I'm just waiting for COVID to go away so that we can have an audience again.
There we go. Well, Jaime, I've got to say, it's been incredible catching up with you.
Thank you.
For full disclosure, right now in my beautiful home in the northwest of England, staying with my mum just came and knocked on the door, which is the secret code for your dinner's ready.
Oh my gosh, enjoy. I'm glad that you're off cruise ships, but you still don't have to cook your own dinner yet. That's a blessing.
Yeah, I don't want to strike fear into your heart, but you were just saying about, you know, being a mom and Olivia having you up and the energy and stuff. Jaime, I'm 33 and I came home.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure your mom's happy about that though, because, you know, when I came off shift, my parents were like, you can come stay with us. It lasted about 2 weeks and I had to go.
Well, we'll see. But, you know, I think you've led such an amazing and inspirational career that there's going to be.
Oh, thank you.
There's going to be plenty more of opportunities and exciting adventures in your future.
Oh, thank you, Lee. I'm so happy that you called. I'm so happy to be a part of your show. I would do it again anytime. And I'm proud to watch your career. You know, I'm just passing the baton and watching you fly with it from here. Well,
I think that's a brilliant way to round this off. Jaime, if you could give me like one piece of advice, big or small, anything that you think I should keep in mind, or maybe a little mantra or motto or one of the principles that you operated by, what would you share with me?
Well, there are several things that come to mind, but I will share one that was at the bottom of my email signature, and I had to constantly remind myself because those days are long, and sometimes you miss your family, and sometimes there's calls and questions that you don't always know. But I always kept in mind that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always.
Oh, I think that is so poignant, especially for 2020 right now. What a beautiful way to round things off.
Thank you, Lee, for letting me be on your show, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, and I will catch up with you in the not too distant future. But for now, it's dinner time.
Enjoy. What are you going to have? Some bangers and mash.
As much as I'd love to be having a traditional British meal, I think we're on some sort of pasta. Some sort of pasta tonight. But anyway, Jamie, it's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, podcast family, that's it for another episode of Tea with Lee. I hope you enjoyed it. And in all honesty, I am just about to go for my dinner. So I'm going to enjoy that. I'll love you and leave you, and I'll see you on a future episode.